August 2nd, 216 BC. The plains of Cannae, in southern Italy. Hannibal Barca stood, gazing upon the Roman army. Before him, approximately 80,000 to 90,000 Roman soldiers were deployed. His own forces numbered 40,000 to 50,000. In numbers, he was overwhelmingly outmatched. Yet in Hannibal's expression, there was no fear. In that moment, what was he thinking? 2 years earlier, in 218 BC. According to Polybius's records, Hannibal crossed the Alps with 37 elephants. Everyone said it was impossible. But he did it. And then he invaded Italy, into the very heart of Rome. For these 2 years he had never been defeated. But Rome was different. They learned from defeat. Consul Lucius Aemilius Paulus, the other consul, Gaius Terentius Varro. They assembled an army of unprecedented size for that era. 8 reinforced legions, approximately 80,000 to 90,000 troops. Estimates vary, but this was Rome's full commitment, to annihilate Hannibal in a single battle. That was Rome's strategy. Early morning, the Roman army marched forth. Varro, the commanding consul that day, chose aggressive tactics. Deep in the center, thin on the flanks. Over 80,000 heavy infantry advanced as one massive block. In tight formation, applying pressure from the front to break through. With this method, Rome had conquered the Mediterranean. Overwhelming force, crushing the enemy. Varro was certain, today the Carthaginian threat ends. But Hannibal was different. He had another plan. He ordered his deputy, weak in the center, strong on the flanks. His deputy was shocked. But General, the center will be pushed back. Hannibal answered, exactly. Let the center gradually retreat. Pretend to be pressed by the enemy's force. Hannibal's formation was ingenious. The center, Gallic and Iberian infantry. Main forces, but deliberately positioned in a convex bulge to lure in the Romans. The flanks, African heavy infantry, approximately 10,000 combined. Carthage's most elite soldiers. And on the wings, cavalry units, approximately 10,000 riders in total. Heavy Iberian and Gallic cavalry on the left, Numidian light cavalry on the right. Hannibal told his soldiers, today we make history. Morning. The battle began. Roman heavy infantry surged into the center. An iron wall of over 80,000 advanced. The Carthaginian army stood upwind. The Volturnus wind from the southeast whipped up dust, blinding the Roman soldiers. The Gauls and Iberians resisted desperately. But the numbers were overwhelming. The center began to give way. Varro watched. The Carthaginian center was crumbling. He told his deputy, look, Hannibal is finished. The Roman army pushed forward even more, break through the center, and victory was certain. But Varro hadn't realized. This was a trap. In that moment, what was Hannibal thinking? According to records, he remained calm. The center's retreat was part of the plan. He ordered his deputy, let the center fall back a bit more, draw the enemy in deeper, but maintain discipline. The Gauls and Iberians continued to retreat, but they did not collapse, maintaining discipline exactly as planned. The Roman army penetrated deep into the Carthaginian formation. Around noon, Hannibal made his move. The African heavy infantry on both flanks. They wheeled inward, into the Roman flanks. Simultaneously, the cavalry swept around to the rear. The Romans realized, we're surrounded. In that instant, Paulus's face went pale. Over 80,000 Roman soldiers. They couldn't move. They were packed so tightly they couldn't even swing their swords. They couldn't raise their shields. Both flanks closed inward, while cavalry sealed the rear, cutting off all escape. Double envelopment. The Carthaginian army attacked from all sides. The Roman soldiers had nowhere to run. Afternoon, the slaughter began. The Romans couldn't fight back. They were packed too tightly to use their weapons. The Carthaginian army thrust with spears from outside, slashed with swords. Roman soldiers kept falling. In the afternoon, Paulus fell. A deputy shouted, "Consul, there's a horse! Escape!" But Paulus shook his head. "I remain here." He commanded the right cavalry and fought to the very end. And he fell on the fields of Cannae. Evening. The battle was over. Ancient sources vary in their numbers. Polybius records approximately 70,000 Roman dead and 6,000 Carthaginian dead. Livy also records approximately 45,000 Roman dead. Estimates vary, but there's no doubt that Rome suffered catastrophic losses, often transmitted as approximately 70,000 versus 6,000, an overwhelming kill ratio, the most perfect battle of annihilation in history. Rome's worst defeat. In a single day, 8 legions were destroyed. Hannibal surveyed the battlefield. Cavalry commander Hannibal said, "General, let's march on Rome now. Within 5 days we can hold a victory feast on the Capitoline Hill." But Hannibal shook his head. "No, I will not do that." Hannibal was stunned. "Why not?" Hannibal gave no answer. In his eyes, something else was reflected. In that moment, what was he thinking? According to records, Hannibal had choices. Option A, attack Rome immediately. But he had no siege equipment. His supply lines were stretched thin. Rome had suffered massive losses and was shaken, but still had resources to rapidly rebuild its defenses. Option B, don't attack. Pursue diplomatic efforts to turn Rome's allies, isolating Rome. But this required support from Carthage itself. Hannibal chose option B. However, Carthage's response was insufficient. Carthage was fighting on other fronts: Iberia, Sicily. The Senate couldn't concentrate decisive reinforcements for Hannibal. Support wasn't entirely absent, but it was insufficient. They said, "Resources are limited. We must fight on all fronts." Carthage's strategy was dispersed. 14 years later, in 202 BC, the Battle of Zama, Hannibal was finally defeated. His opponent was Publius Cornelius Scipio, a young genius who had studied the tactics of Cannae. Carthage surrendered. The Second Punic War was over. The Battle of Cannae. It was the most perfect battle of encirclement and annihilation in history, and it became the most studied battle in history. Even 2,000 years later, it's still taught in military academies worldwide. Napoleon studied Cannae. So did von Moltke. So did Schlieffen. Hannibal's tactics live on through the ages. So what can we learn from this story? First, creativity surpasses numbers. With approximately 40,000 to 50,000 troops, Hannibal destroyed an army of over 80,000. He invented new tactics, thinking beyond conventional wisdom. That's what makes the impossible possible. Second, perfect tactical victory doesn't guarantee strategic victory. Cannae was tactically perfect, but it didn't win the war, because support from the homeland was insufficient. One genius alone cannot save a nation. History only tells us the outcome, but those who lived it didn't know the ending. If you were in Hannibal's position, what would you have done? After Cannae, should he have attacked Rome? Or should he have pursued turning Rome's allies? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm truly grateful you stayed with me to the end. The Battle of Cannae happened 200 years ago, but its lessons live on today. Creativity, leadership, the difference between strategy and tactics. This channel explores humanity's turning points to discover universal wisdom that resonates even now. If you want to join me on the next journey through history, subscribe and turn on notifications. Your comments make this exploration richer. Until next time,